There are moments when you feel exhausted, so tired that you don't even have the strength to say a word. Life gets loud, your heart fills with storms, and all you want is a place where your spirit can finally rest. This video is that place, a gentle journey through 4 deep layers of the mind, understanding the true source of happiness, planting wholesome seeds within, calming the storm inside, and returning to the stillness that helps you sleep deeply and heal. As you listen, you can close your eyes, relax your shoulders, and let each word softly carry you back into peace. If something in this video touches you, feel free to share it below. And if you'd like more peaceful moments like this, please subscribe to Buddha's Loving Words, so each night we can return to stillness together. The source of happiness. There are moments when we believe that having more money, more beauty, more love will make us happy. But the more we chase, the more we reach outward, the more we realize a painful truth. Happiness does not live in the things we try to hold on to. It lives within our own heart. Many people live at the peak of success, in grand houses, owning everything others dream of, yet they still feel lonely, restless, and empty. And many others live very simply, a small home, a modest meal, yet they smile peacefully and sleep deeply through the night. The difference is not material things, it is the mind. The Buddha saw this clearly under the Bodhi tree. What binds us is not circumstance, but illusion. The illusion of, I'll be happy when I get this, when I achieve that. That illusion is the root of suffering. One morning, a poor man brought the Buddha a bowl of cold rice. It was so simple that many felt pity for him. But the Buddha said, "This man has offered all that he has. His heart is content. It knows enough." Many were moved to tears, not because the rice was good, but because his words awakened them. Happiness doesn't wait until we have more. It begins the moment we feel enough. Knowing enough doesn't mean giving up effort. It means not letting desire drag us into a bottomless cycle. When we learn to pause, we finally begin to live. Today, we are pulled everywhere. Phones, social media, comparison, praise, criticism, success, reputation. But the more we chase, the more we own, the clearer we see. Desire is a bottomless jar. We buy a new phone, then want a newer one. We hear one compliment, then crave another. And when others don't praise us like we expect, we feel disappointed. We feel empty again. This endless loop turns life into a tiring chase. The Buddha called it craving. Craving is like fire. The more we feed it, the stronger it burns. We think it brings joy, but in the end, it burns us. True happiness does not come from possessions. It arises from a peaceful mind. A peaceful mind sees life clearly, without clinging, without becoming a slave to desire, without forcing the world to follow its will. Someone once asked the Buddha, "Why are you always calm and serene, even when people insult you?" The Buddha smiled. "If I do not accept it, it does not belong to me." That sentence shines like a lamp, revealing the essence of happiness. We suffer because we accept. We hurt because we hold on. We lose peace because we insist the world follow our desires. Let go a little, the heart grows lighter. Let go a bit more, the heart grows brighter. A farmer once came to the Buddha and said, "I suffer because of my crops. I suffer because of my wife. I suffer because of my children. I suffer because of my neighbors. Please teach me how to end suffering." The Buddha replied, "I cannot remove your suffering. Humans have 83 kinds of suffering. I cannot take them away one by one, but I can teach you how not to suffer because of them." That is the wisdom of a peaceful mind, not erasing problems, but finding stillness within, so problems no longer drown us. When the mind is calm, everything feels lighter. When the mind is clear, every situation becomes a teacher. The one who knows contentment is richer than anyone who owns treasure. The one who returns to themselves is freer than those who rule the world. A peaceful heart is wealth greater than any kingdom, because its joy depends on nothing outside. You can travel the world, climb mountains, cross oceans, but if you cannot return to yourself, you will remain lost. And when you do return home within, Even under an old roof, you will find peace. The true refuge of life is not a grand house, but a quiet, steady heart inside. Happiness has one true source, a mind that knows enough and a heart at peace. When the mind is peaceful, joy comes naturally. When the mind stops chasing endless desires, it opens the true gate to happiness. Peaceful mind, peaceful life. Peaceful mind, blessings grow. Happiness has never lived outside of us. It lives in every mindful breath, in every moment of awareness, in every gentle pause when we smile at what already is. When we return to ourselves, happiness returns with us. The inner garden. There is a truth that most people forget. Every thought, every emotion, every word born from the mind is like a seed falling into the garden within. The mind is not an empty space. The mind is soil, rich, fertile soil. Whatever seed we plant will grow. If we plant greed, we will harvest restlessness. If we plant anger, we will harvest hatred. If we plant ignorance, we will harvest suffering. But if we plant mindfulness, understanding, kindness, and compassion, we will harvest peace. That is why the Buddha did not try to change the world. He changed the mind that sees the world. All his teachings, in the end, are simply instructions on how to plant the right seeds in the soil of our inner mind. Long ago, a farmer came to the Buddha and said, "I plant rice, but insects destroy it. I plant corn, but drought takes it. I plant beans, but the heavy rain ruins them. Everything fails. Please teach me one seed that can survive every change in the weather." The Buddha looked at him gently and said, "In this world, there is no seed that never changes. But inside your mind, there is a seed that survives every storm. That seed is mindfulness. If you plant that seed, every season will be a season of peace." The farmer awakened. He realized that he had spent his whole life taking care of the field outside, but never knew that the greatest field was inside his own mind. We are the same. We take great care of the body, beautiful clothes, good food, comfort, convenience, but we forget the field of the mind, the place where all joy and sorrow are born. One unpleasant comment and anger rises instantly. One judgmental look and shame appears. A small success makes us happy. A small failure brings sadness. This happens because we do not know what we are planting in the mind each day. Whatever we water in the mind is what will bloom. If we water anger with negative stories, jealousy, and comparison, the mind becomes darker. If we water compassion with kindness, gratitude, and understanding, the mind begins to bloom. In the Anguttara Nikaya, the Buddha said, "Just as the earth does not reject anything that is thrown upon it, blood, waste, or flowers, it receives all. So too does the trained mind." A spacious mind is like the earth. We do not need to reject anger, nor destroy fear. We simply need to recognize them and stop feeding them. We cannot stop weeds from sprouting, but we can stop watering them. We cannot stop anger from arising, but we can stop feeding it. Anger needs only 10 seconds of our attention to grow into a storm. But compassion needs only one moment of mindfulness to bloom in a single breath. There is another story about Ananda, the Buddha's attendant. One day, Ananda saw a beggar covered in dirt and wounds. He felt disgust and wanted to avoid him. The Buddha walked to the beggar, washed him with his own hands, and cared for him gently like a mother caring for a child. Then he told Ananda, "If you only love what is beautiful, that is not compassion. Compassion means loving even what you hesitate to face." That teaching was itself a seed. It fell into Ananda's mind and grew into wisdom. Compassion is not emotion, it is action. It is not loving only the deserving, but also loving those we do not naturally want to love. A true practitioner does not throw away flaws. They transform them into fertilizer for flowers to grow. The garden of our mind is the same. No flower grows without fertilizer. Pain, failure, and wounds all can become nourishment for wisdom if we know how to transform them. No lotus grows on dry rock. Lotus grows only from the mud. So the very thing that hurts us is also the thing that can help us grow if we look with wisdom. When we learn to use mud to grow lotus, the mud is no longer mud. It becomes fertile soil. That is the deeper meaning of planting the right seeds in the mind. So if we want lasting happiness, we begin with the smallest, simplest acts. Ask yourself each day, what did I water today? Did I water anger or kindness? Did I plant gratitude or resentment? Did I offer a smile or feed complaints? A small, grateful smile is a seed. A quiet act of kindness no one sees is a seed. A moment of mindful breathing is a seed. If we plant just a few mindful seeds each day, we will see flowers bloom. When we plant many good seeds, we no longer need to chase happiness. Happiness comes on its own, like a blooming garden when spring arrives. When the mind is full of compassion, kindness, and contentment, we lack nothing. When the heart blooms within, life outside becomes gentle. This is the shortest path to true peace. Not searching outside, but planting inside. Not waiting for others to make us happy, but planting happiness in our own mind. Happiness is a practice, and practice is planting one small seed at a time, beginning now. The storm within. There are storms in this world that lie beyond our control. The rain keeps falling, people keep praising or criticizing, life keeps changing. But there is another storm, a storm far stronger, the storm inside the mind. Many people can stay calm when the weather outside is harsh and stormy, but just one criticism, one cold look, one careless remark, and a storm rises instantly inside the heart. This is the truth the Buddha saw clearly. Suffering does not come from events themselves. It comes from the way we react to them. Some people hear one insulting comment for a few seconds and remember it for an entire year. Some fail once in a small way and punish themselves for half a lifetime. When the mind is unsteady, everything becomes a storm. But when the mind is calm, even storms become gentle wind. There is a famous story in the ancient texts. One day a group of ascetics insulted the Buddha loudly, shouting harsh words as he walked by. The monks were angry, ready to respond. But the Buddha walked past in complete serenity. His face did not change at all. When they returned to the monastery, he said, "If someone brings you a gift and you do not accept it, the gift still belongs to them." Those words have touched hearts for generations. Peace does not come when no one insults us. Peace comes when we no longer let insults take space inside our mind. People are free to speak, but we are free not to receive. This is the wisdom of a balanced mind. In the Dhammapada, there is a verse, "Not by anger is anger overcome. Only compassion can calm the angry mind." In moments of praise or blame, what is dangerous is not the praise or the blame. It is the mind that shakes because of them. When people praise us, we inflate. We feel proud. We think we are superior. When people criticize us, we shrink. We burn with anger. We want to prove ourselves. This means we are letting others control our happiness and our suffering. We hand the remote control of our mind to the outside world without realizing it. And so, every time the world changes, we suffer again. A true practitioner takes back the ownership of the mind, not by becoming rigid, but by understanding deeply the nature of praise and blame. They are not us. They come and go like wind passing over a lake. If the lake is calm, the wind passes and the water remains still. If the lake is full of ripples, even a small breeze creates waves. There was once a monk named Pindola. After he displayed a small miracle, people praised him loudly and offered flowers. The news reached the Buddha, and he was not pleased. He said, "You have lost the balance of a practitioner. Do not let yourself be defined by praise." From then on, the Buddha prohibited displaying miracles for fame. This story reminds us of a simple truth. Praise can be as dangerous as criticism. Praise can inflate the ego. It can make us believe we are better than others. And when that hidden pride grows, the mind loses balance. And an unbalanced mind can never be at peace. In modern life, we are easily pulled into comparison. Social media is full of curated moments. Everyone shows their brightest parts, and we think they are always happy. But we forget that every person has storms we cannot see. Comparison makes the mind unstable, and an unstable mind can never find peace. The Buddha taught that praise and blame are simply part of life. People may honor you today and criticize you tomorrow. If your happiness depends on their voices, your life will rise and fall like a boat in the ocean. True peace is anchoring the boat inside yourself, not in the waves. Waves may rise, but the boat can remain steady if the anchor is firm. There is a verse, "The mind unmoved by gain or loss, that mind is free." When we cling to success, we suffer. When we cling to fame, we become exhausted. When we cling to praise or blame, we become unstable. A true practitioner is not dragged around by the world. A true practitioner stands firm, even when the wind changes. And the secret to standing firm is not tightening the body, it is loosening the ego, letting go of a bit of pride, letting go of a bit of stubbornness, letting go of the self that wants to win. When the self becomes smaller, the heart becomes bigger. So peace does not come when storms disappear. Peace comes when the inside becomes solid like a mountain. The mountain stands, the wind blows, but the mountain remains unmoved. A practiced mind is the same. Life keeps changing. People keep praising and criticizing, but the mind stays clear, open, and grounded. The storm outside may be strong, but if the mind is deep, the storm never reaches the bottom. That is true peace. The music of stillness. There is something strange about human life. The louder the world becomes, the more our heart longs for silence. People today listen to so much, speak so much, look at so much, yet very rarely do they ever listen to themselves. The hardest part is not finding a quiet place outside. The hardest part is finding stillness inside the mind, even in the marketplace, even during work, even in the middle of chaos. In the scriptures, the Buddha calls this stillness deep tranquility, a state where the outside world may still be noisy, but inside there is clarity, quiet, and no disturbance. And only in that stillness do we hear the music of peace. Long ago, a young monk came to the Buddha and asked for a method to achieve enlightenment quickly. He said, "I want nirvana. I want to awaken soon. Please teach me a powerful teaching." The Buddha looked at him and without speaking a word, led him to the riverbank. They sat together. The wind touched the water. The river murmured. The dry leaves rustled. There was only silence and breath. After a while, the monk said, "World-honored one, I'm waiting for your teaching. Why haven't you spoken?" The Buddha smiled. "I have already taught, but your mind is too loud to hear it." Those words were like a bell. Sometimes we crave great teachings, profound sutras, but what we truly lack is one quiet minute to listen to our own breath. In the Sutra on Mindful Breathing, the Buddha teaches, when breathing in, know you are breathing in. When breathing out, know you are breathing out. It sounds simple, yet it is the key to stillness, because within the breath is the present moment. Within the breath is returning. Within the breath is freedom. It is no accident that in every tradition of meditation, the breath is the foundation. The breath is the bridge between body and mind. When the mind runs into painful memories, just returning to the breath brings it back to the present. When the mind drifts into anxious futures, just returning to the breath brings it back to the ground. Stillness does not mean thinking nothing. Stillness means knowing that you are thinking. It means being present with each moment. It means being here and knowing you are here. One day, the Buddha asked a monk, "What makes the sound of a lute?" The monk replied, "The strings." The Buddha asked, "If the strings are too tight or too loose, can the sound be beautiful?" The monk answered, "No." The Buddha said, "The practitioner is the same. If you push the mind too hard, it breaks. If you let it go too loose, it falls apart." Stillness is not forcing the mind into silence, but seeing clearly what the mind is, without being dragged by it. That is why a true practitioner is not someone who sits silently without speaking, but someone who sits silently with mindfulness. In many stories, we see the power of stillness, like the monk who was insulted by villagers. He did not respond. He simply sat quietly, as if he had heard nothing. When asked why he said nothing, he replied, "If I react, I give my mind to someone else." That stillness was not weakness, it was wisdom. Because stillness is an inner action, a real, sharp, powerful energy. It is not passive. It is choosing to protect the mind. When the mind is still, we hear the deepest voice within us. Not the voice of habit, not the noise of society, not the push of fear or desire, but the voice of wisdom. That wisdom is already there, within every person. Stillness does not create wisdom, it simply reveals it. Like water, when the water is calm, you can see the bottom of the lake. When the mind is calm, you can see the nature of life. And the nature of life is impermanence. When we understand impermanence, we stop clinging. When we stop clinging, we naturally find peace. Stillness is the gateway to liberation. Look at life. Without stillness, there is no peace. Without peace, there is no happiness. A wealthy person who cannot sleep is not happy. A famous person who fears losing reputation is not at peace. Happiness is not having more, it is having enough. And you only feel enough when the mind knows how to be still. When the mind is still, all events become passing waves, no longer storms that destroy us. A person with stillness can smile at gain and loss. They can stay gentle through praise and blame, and they can cherish each breath. Stillness is the music of inner peace, and every person has the ability to play that music, right now. Just close your eyes for 1 minute, place your hand on your heart, take a deep breath, and the doorway home opens. Life continues. The wind keeps blowing. The world stays loud. But inside, you have taken back your power. And when a person masters their own mind, they are free. If this teaching speaks to you, and if you want more moments of peace in your life, leave a comment below and share your reflection. And if you are walking the path of practice, please subscribe to the channel so each day we can return to stillness together and nourish the peace within. Let us continue planting good seeds in our hearts so that day by day, life becomes lighter, brighter, and filled with deep, gentle peace.
From the bottom of our hearts, we thank you for supporting Buddha's loving words. May the teachings of the Buddha continue to touch every heart, bringing peace and happiness.